It is a critical moment for all of us, first of all for the association, which is celebrating the 41st anniversary. We have Ada Cristina Laurel from Mexico, one of the leading figures in our discipline, one of also the leading figures in the struggles of all the peoples, and especially in Mexico and Latin America, but all the peoples all around the world, to defend health as a social right. And next to her is Uli Depe, who is also a big figure, historical figure for our association. He's very dead.
But if I mention briefly, I just have signed the peace petition. When I have signed this petition in January 2016, in many towns in my country there were indefinite curfews.
I don't know if Rita is still with us, but particular greetings to her, and thank you so much for having me here. I was a bit shocked when Alexis told me that I should be the opening speaker in content in this session. I thought at first he had been overtaken by American imperialism, and then I realized only that he wanted to start at the bottom, and then we will work our way towards better things in this conference.
Americans are dying younger. This headline in a recent New York Times says, and that's saving corporations billions of dollars because they don't have to pay pensions for their workers for so long. Pharmaceutical firms make far more than any other element of the medical care system in the United States at this point. $67 billion in the most recent year.
So, alongside of this neoliberal health transformation, we see in Turkey the rise of the new right, also as in other contexts, including the US, I would say, where at their center they take women and very much anti-women and we would call misogynist also some policies which and discourses.
Vaccines that actually are not secure, and we don't even know if they are safe.
I totally agree with you with regard to the components of vaccine. I mean, the data I have there.
And the answer to that is that of concealment. So even if the problem were that of concealment, it suggests that commercial interests or the doctor.
Okay, so we are all informed now, yeah, that there may be commercial conflicts of interest. How does it happen? How do you feel now better?
But private health insurance, at least in Canada, is not part of that protection. And what that means is that if we see the TPP resurrected, and if Canada...
Free trade is the basis, liberalization of trade is the basis of the generation of today's world wealth. So this is one based on
Dear friends, dear colleagues, thank you so much that you invited me to this conference, which reminds me to so many conferences, debates, meetings with friends, but also of political struggle against so-called neoliberal reforms in the past. Despite of Obamacare, millions of US citizens have until now no insurance. They are confronted with the truth of the sentence, if you are poor, you have to die earlier. Since many years.
Typical capitalist corruption, of any kind in medicine, things are bad for both patients and doctors. But this is nothing compared to the harm that is inflicted on them when things are done perfectly ethically.
I would like to say that the discourse of consumerism actually is central. It becomes a central value and it replaces the notion of dependency and precariousness, right?
People move towards communities, and as we try to reach people who've already been living in communities that have been hidden from the official formal health system, this might be a way of achieving it.
Feeling of solidarity, whatever, emerging from government in terms of its engagement with the needs of these people.
There is no real European solidarity. And you have been seeing that only a few countries are welcoming, and you have half of Europe who is not welcoming, building fences. We saw we were taking place.
The Holocene that has started more or less 10,000 to 11,800 years ago.
The energy. A few countries that are really contributing to CO2 output and climate change as well.
In the same time, particularly in the 1950s, or after the Second World War, until the 1990s, and continuing different systems or trying of different systems.
She will speak about the Canadian imperialism, Nicaraguan state complicity, and the community's resistance to mining.
Great. Get that wine out of your system from lunch, okay? So my topic today is not directly related to the conference topic, not directly, but in fact it's... But the need for a different narrative of the Canadian state and Canadian capital becomes immediately apparent when addressing the question of extractivism. Simultaneously, civil disobedience is labeled criminal activity, or in some states as terrorism.
With China to make the replace of the Panama Canal with the lake, and it will destroy all the environment of Nicaragua.
There's a certain truth and there's a certain mythology about why things work or don't work, and I think that's actually it's kind of a wrong-headed question to ask why the revolution failed, which is typical. I think it's a very dangerous kind of way of looking at history.
I would like to begin with sharing something with Laurie, if you allow me. I have brought with me a piece of cloth. It's nothing more. But it's a piece of cloth which has its own story. It has been washed only once to take away the chemicals from the tear gases. But one thing this flag has never done is being held by two women's hands, one on a Greek side and one on a Canadian side. So I would just like for one moment to invite Laurie to hold it with me.
I could say a lot of things more, but better hear her. Thanks, Cristina.
Thank you, Alicia. Well, I speak about the neoliberal structural adjustment in Mexico, political, structural, and financial conditions in Mexico City, the Mexico City social policy, the universal pension, health policy, the results and problems and unresolved matters. Well, the paths of neoliberalism in Mexico, you will probably recognize some of those things. It has been a path of repeated electoral frauds, privatization, recurrent financial crisis.
As a result, the right to life, liberty and security, and in particular the prohibition of torture and ill treatment, protected by the Constitution and international conventions, have been violated. This deliberate and planned massacre is in serious violation of Turkey's own laws and international treaties to which Turkey is a party. These actions are in serious violation of international law.
N'est pas seulement ouvert sur la mer, mais construit à partir d'elle comme un archipel. Les îles grecques ne sont pas des annexes de la Grèce, mais son mode de constitution et les lieux de sa configuration politique. Entre compétences diverses, qui est l'une des définitions majeures de la santé politique, par l'impact qu'elle a sur la défense de la santé publique.
In fact, 63% of physicians
physicians feel that we need to limit corporate influence, and other financial reforms have very little support within the physician community. Now, Physicians for National Health program has been around since 1986. Thank you.
That this goal is not being achieved by far. In fact, it was being reversed in terms of increasing inequality. We see that PHM is a platform for action. It's a broad umbrella. It's a network of networks. It's really a movement where other organizational networks and movements and individuals can find started to change since 2008.
Merci. Et maintenant, on continue en français. On a, et là, il y a la perspective.
Qui vont se mettre en place. En 1988, 1992, 1993, qui pourront mettre dans la rue plus d'une centaine de milliers de personnes.
We started to operate a social solidarity clinic and pharmacy, initially by volunteers who worked with medical and political support teams.
Mais le réseau soutient aussi les projets militants de soins auto-organisés portés par des citoyens dans la perspective d'élaboration d'un système de santé alternatif émancipé du marché, du technocratisme et de la bureaucratie étatique.
Dear colleagues, dear friends, dear comrades, we came to the end of a very productive, inspiring, motivating and scientifically and politically strong conference. With this conference, IAHPE became stronger. I appreciate your solidarity by electing the peace academics in Turkey to the board again.